All right, guys, thank you all for joining me on this. I'm excited about this. So one of the reasons to start things off that I think we all connect is because A, we hate bullshit. B, we all seem to be real people who actually want people that follow us and we're connected with to also make money rather than alerting after we're up like 50%. And, the other thing about it is like, I noticed through all three of you, it's always positive and good and fun and there's humor involved, and that's how it should be. Yes, it's serious. Yes, we want to make money, but I don't want to live the rest of my life being a miserable bastard. And so I was drawn to all of you guys because you're fun whether we're winning or losing, and that's how it should be. End of the day, not every day is going to be a winner. Not in stock trading, not in life, not in work. Some days are going to suck, some days are going to be good, but it's life at the end of the day, so we have to be positive minded and chill and enjoy it. And so I'm drawn to all of you guys because we don't sulk on the past and we don't harp on the wins. We just keep going and do what we do every day, and that's cool because a lot of people in this market are just like, they drive you nuts with the emotional roller coaster, and you guys don't. And I think that's a huge reason why you're all successful. And I think it's also a huge reason why you all have a lot of followers and people who respect you. So cheers to that. And cheers to our first video conference here.
That's not fair. I got a chick's drink.
You're drinking a twisted tea? Oh, my.
Ran out of my vodka sodas, brother.
Like tequila.
Oh, you were here. Yeah.
I can make fun of you now on Twisted Tea on Twitter. Perfect.
There you go.
So listen, we'll start with Mystery Man, and we're gonna go right around. Introduce yourself.
Age order discrimination.
Your Twitter handle.
75 years old.
Twitter handle. How long you've been trading and how you got into it.
Oh man, been trading since early 2000. I shouldn't say that.
It's okay. We're old.
Yeah, keep in mind, I was born in 1998.
Okay, I'm not old. The rest of us are old.
I've been on and off for 20 years, but I've been full-time, or rather full-time, for at least 8. The first 5 to 7 years, we didn't have Twitter. YouTube was fairly new. There wasn't as many resources as people can get now. Mm-hmm. Technical analysis was kind of learn as you go. Pump and dumps were much more pump and dumpy than they are now. And then, because that's what I started out in the OTC, and then I branched out from there. But yeah, it's been a good 8 years full time. Obviously, I trade everything: OTC, small caps, options, depending on the markets. But it's it's been a journey, and I forget who I was telling something in the DMs the other day. One of you guys I was talking with is, I mean, it was painful at first. I lost a lot of money over the years. I think, I don't want to go into figures, but it was just a lot of money. And
I think we probably all did, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, if my wife probably realized how much money, thank God we weren't married at the time, I'd probably be divorced and she wouldn't be taking half because there wouldn't be much half to take. It was a lot of trial and error to figure it out. But the last 8 years and the last 5 specifically been really where I can call it a full-time job because I do other stuff as well.
Yep.
So, but for tax reasons, the last 5 years, I've been considered a full-time stock trader. Wow. So
cool. And you're Mystery Man on Twitter. And just real quickly, what got you into the market? What was the first thing that triggered you into the market?
There was YouTube was hot at the time, and there was a stock that was trying to compete with YouTube. And again, this was 15, 18 years ago, so I can't remember it. It was on the OTC. And like a lot of these new guys, I got suckered in thinking that it was going to be the next YouTube, and I put more money than I should have into it, not knowing anything about it, and I lost everything. I think it was like I think they went bankrupt or something. I just remember I lost everything.
So basically, the dream of getting rich is what you.
The dream of getting rich, and the degenerates, since I'm from New Jersey. So I think.
Thanks, man. Matt, tell us the same questions. Your Twitter handle. How long you've been trading and what got you into it.
Yeah, Penny Stock Power is my Twitter handle. Been trading for 8 years, 9 years, more seriously in the last like 3 or 4. Sort of the same story I think that a lot of us will share is, got into it, made some money, and then lost all of it pretty much over a span of time. Thankfully, kept that account alive somehow, and learned a lot of lessons along that time frame, which I said on the last one with you, it was almost like a blessing to like hit a big winner off the start, because then I lost my ass for a while, and like the amount that I learned in that period of time of losing was probably the most valuable information that I took forward with me.
Big time. And it's funny you say that, because I try to tell people, if you're just getting started, especially in this market, use a stock simulator, but nobody wants to do it. They'd rather lose their own money. Yeah. Kyle, same questions.
That's the kiss of death when you hit a big winner at the very beginning.
I've said it a million times. It happened to me. I hit an 100%er in my first trade, and it was the worst thing that ever happened.
It's like crack. They get you hooked with the big winner, and then you're stuck.
Exactly. Kyle?
I don't know anything about crack, so.
Yeah, so for me, obviously, like I've been trading not as long as you guys, so respect to everybody. I've been only trading 4 years, 5 years now. What got me into it was just the getting rich fast, and I blew up accounts. Like I tell people who are in my DMs who are struggling right now in this market that the first time I traded, I lost, like I put paychecks in the market, lost 5K right off the start. Like it was 2 months and I lost 5K. Second time I went back in with a strategy, more strategy, more profit taking. Like what I preach to everybody is take your damn profits. Mm-hmm. Once I started doing that, I was beginning to win. But then I lost, like you guys said, I was too greedy. My portfolio, if you guys remember Cloud Peak Energy, I don't know if anybody remembers CLD, but they filed Chapter 13 when I got in for like 100% of my portfolio. They filed for Chapter 13, and it's not bankruptcy like nowadays in the markets where they go up 130%.
I'm trying to find the bankrupt stuff. The other ones aren't working.
Getting bankruptcies.
And so it went down 100%. I lost all that money, 3K down the drain, just like that in a snap. So I literally like took the year off, and I just learned. Like I just kind of trained myself. YouTube video, like YouTube was big back then. Paper trading was big back then. So I just kind of threw myself in the market that way. And then finally in the last couple years, like 2-3 years of small caps, option trading, large caps, like I finally found my groove and found like the pattern that works for me. Yep. And that's like one thing that I would suggest to anybody is like find your own like strategy. Like I preach my own strategy because it works for me, but what works for me is not going to work for you guys, right? Like Matt wants me to get into an OTC, right? But OTCs have blown up my accounts before and stuff, so I'm super hesitant and stuff like that. So I definitely preach like finding your own patterns, finding your own finding your plays along with my plays, whether it's Mystery plays, your plays, Matt's plays. Like if you play along with us, like I preach this is like don't like go along with us. Like don't like find the price action, find the resistance, find the supports and stuff. So that's how I get into all that.
100.
Also, my Twitter handle Shock Dynasty. So
Yep. Briefly, I'm Pete Doom on Twitter. I've been trading since about 2009 now. Blew up many accounts, to begin. Same thing as everybody else. You get in, you want to make some money. My reasoning for it was I came out of school, I got a job, then we had our big recession. It sucked. Like I was working a bunch of crappy part-time jobs because there was nothing out there. And so, stock trading, I could do that. Made a bunch of money initially on a couple picks, thought this is easy, gave it all back, then sat there staring at my account that was blown up, didn't really have any more money to put into it. So I was working my part-time job, saving up some money, much like you, started throwing some paychecks into the account. only to see them dwindle down pretty quickly.
Bad news.
Yeah, and just learning by being thrown into the fire. And that's why, honestly, with all these new tools today, use simulation accounts, people. Like, if you're jumping into this market right now, use simulation accounts. And the worst thing that happened is people that jumped into the market at the beginning of this pandemic, because they literally have no idea what happened. They got in, the market had just dropped huge and everything went back up. It was like the easiest money you could ever make. And so that created a whole bunch of people that thought, I can get rich really fast. I'm going to put more money in than I should. And now we have a lot of people suffering. So unfortunately, this is the market. It goes up and down.
I'm bullish UAVS still.
What was it?
I'm bullish UAVS.
They're gonna partner with the UPS or Walmart. They're gonna do Walmart with
Walmart drones now and Amazon.
Walmart drones are coming out, baby.
I'm gonna go out the house.
Don't worry about it. So yeah, and perfect segue. Don't fall for this crap, guys. Like, $3 stocks are not going to very often cut a deal with Amazon or Walmart. Like, it might happen and it's a rarity. Don't fall for this crap out there. Like,
let's be real, it's
stuff.
a rarity.
Yes.
Well, I want to go along. I want to go along with that. Like, I know I like my Discord or whatever, or like our Discord, the Dynasty and stuff. Like, the one thing that I preach right away: if you get into a penny stock, realize that it's a shit company. Period.
Yeah.
Like their financials are shit.
It's priced there for a reason.
Their financials are shit. Their future's pretty shit. Their management's usually shit. So like what I preach too is like when you play the penny stocks or whatever, like make sure you're scaling in, make sure you're definitely scaling out. Do not just hold like long term on them. Like we saw Genius, we saw Express or Expa, we saw UAVS somehow is kind of staying up in the $2 range, which I really don't know.
I mean, drones, there's some value to drones in general, but like they're not going to get an Amazon contract. If they do, fine, crucify me. But like, give me a break. You know, if Amazon really wants to do that, they'll just produce their own drones. They'll buy UAV.
Tomorrow news, Amazon.
UAVS was going for like 50,000. So Mystery Man, that's right up your alley, buddy.
Yeah.
Go into them.
So, let's jump right into it. I want to talk about some things that are in the market right now that are pissing everybody off, myself included. I know you guys included. We've talked about it. Right now, the market is a chop fest. And I would say that even if you tail back to August, yes, we've had some climbs and we've had some declines, but all in all, it's been this unpredictable chop fest mess. And by the time 3 days of maybe uptrend go along and you think, oh, well, maybe it's safe to swing, you get right back into the chop. So it's been a very difficult market for anybody who wants to swing trade. Most of this is right now, obviously COVID, but we have the looming stimulus bill. And this stimulus bill is acting much like the China trade war acted. There's a deal, there's no deal. Oh, they're working on phase one. Oh, they're not. This is the same thing we're seeing now. Pelosi, oh, we have this language that we're working out now. Oh, well, it doesn't look like it's going to pass. It's this nonsense that never ends. And then it's heightened by headlines from various news outlets and people with lots of followers that are basically putting these articles out that then all of a sudden the market, oh, there's a bad article, straight down. Oh, optimism, straight up. And we know somebody's cousin and uncle and brother-in-law is getting rich. They know when these articles are going to come out. But I think we're all over it. And the question I have is, well, first off, people keep thinking that this whole stimulus deal is strictly checks to Americans. I think a lot of people are missing the fact that not only the small business money, which employs people and keeps people from being unemployed, but without stimulus, extended unemployment benefits expire the week before Christmas. Does anybody realize how detrimental that is to our entire economy? Seasonal businesses that rely on big money in Christmas, and people are going to be thinking, my benefits expire and I need to pay the bills. This is a really bad situation if they don't pass the bill. So my question, we'll start with Kyle this time in reverse. Are they going to pass the stimulus bill before election, after election, or if you don't believe in either of those, do you think they'll even pass it before the end of the year?
Obviously the stim is such a big thing right now, and obviously, like you're talking about, it's just making this thing a kangaroo. Like I was posting on Twitter, like it seems like you're just arguing and stuff with a sibling at this point, like what's going on. And it's honestly sad. Like I've told people and stuff, it's sad that we can't get this deal done. We've had what, 2 stimuluses now? Why can't we just go back to one of those? Right. And the last thing I was hearing about the stim is that there's not even going to be stim checks for people. I think I could be wrong on that.
They're working on the 1,200 still, plus extra
Okay.
for dependents.
Okay. Well, so my original thesis was they'll pass it soon because now both heads, Nancy was feeling pressure from both her Democratic side because you had Andrew Yang being like, yo, pass this. And then you have Trump that wants this like it's in his, like, I don't want politics aside, it's in his best interest to make the market as high as he can going into the debate that's tonight. So I thought for sure a stim would come out. So you'd have the market go up. You would have him like bragging about it tonight and stuff, being like, well, V bounce, all this. Now we're getting into a realm of like, now it's like, okay, if it didn't happen today, at this point, I really don't think it happens until after there's either new president or the same president. I think at this point they're so far because I hear what, 2.2 billion and then a 1.8 billion dollar stim. And I just hear from both, and like you said, I hear from both sides like this whole nonsense about how we're so far apart, but now we're close together. Now we're super far apart.
It's all
now
political games for sure.
Like we're cautiously optimistic. Now the pen's on the paper. Like what's going on? And it's made me, honestly, and I've told this to my Discord. I've told Twitter this. It's made me pretty much go, all right, I'm 90% cash because I my emotions cannot handle this right now.
Right. There's no trigger here. I mean, I agree. Matt, same question.
Yeah, so I don't think that it'll pass until after the election's over with.
Do you think it'll pass before the end of the year?
Yeah, I think that it will pass before the end of the year. Like you were talking about, without that money at the holiday season, I think it would be so detrimental to the economy that neither side's willing to risk that.
Beyond that, evictions in winter.
Yeah. But I mean, at the same time, it's almost humorous for me because I train the OTC, and right now I'm literally watching like the biggest CEO pump job going on the big market. And like, it feels like home over there, but
yeah.
And the other nice thing is like, you guys have this, volatility off these news articles, and in the OTC world, like it's like unicorns and, rainbow piles of shit. So it doesn't even matter.
Even the OTC has sucked lately.
Yeah. I think it'll pick up, but I think you're right. Chris, same question. What do you think?
I agree. I don't think it's definitely not going to pass, in my opinion.
I agree.
The election, but I kind of got a little bit different of a spin on it. I think we rallied into the end of the day. Say hi to your wife, Matt. I think we rallied into the end of the day for one of two reasons, or possibly both, because the debate. But I also think after Pelosi spoke, because as she was speaking, the market started going up.
Yep.
I think people or the market has finally digested or accepted that there ain't no stim coming before the elections. And then sure enough, it rallied into close. It rallied pretty good, then it pulled back a little bit.
That's why I was confused today, because I know, Pete, you texted or you messaged us and we're like, why are the markets rallying? And I go, I really have no idea, because what I'm seeing is negative stuff, is what there is no stim.
So what happened?
Chris's explanation makes perfect sense.
Yeah, I think
people are just over. They're like, whatever, dude. Do whatever the hell you want.
Everybody was so worried about it's not going to pass. It's going to pass the reaction. So everybody's on the sidelines. I think people finally digested it. It ain't going to happen. Whether the headlines come out or not, they're just going to keep dragging it on. And then people started getting a little bit more comfortable. Now, whether that sustains tomorrow is to be seen.
Yeah.
But I do think it happens by the end of the year, though. It's not going to happen because it's so far apart on municipal funding,
and it's a political thing for sure.
I think politics here. It's definitely a tug of war, and they want their person as the president when it gets passed, because there's a lot of stuff getting thrown in the bill on both sides.
Right.
That they rush it along now. That each side is going to be not happy with after the elections.
Last election, when we didn't know if Trump or Hillary was going to win, we had limit up and limit down like I think in the same night once, limit up and limit down is when the overall market moves more than 5% one direction overnight in the after-hour session. They halt the market and it is not allowed to move until open unless it comes back within the 4% range. Do you think that that will happen again in this election? Kyle, yes or no? Do you think it's a limit up or limit down?
I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no, just because I think the SPY ETF already kind of knows who's gonna win the presidency.
All right, Matt.
Yeah, I think it does it again.
You think it's again?
Yeah, as soon as it's announced whoever the winner is, the algos are gonna fucking take over. And
Chris?
It might only limit up or limit down. It might not do both.
It might not do both, but limit the other.
Well, a couple things happen. A few brokers have adjusted the margin requirements for the.
Yeah. Interactive Brokers has changed a lot of their stuff around.
E-Trade has as well.
I think most of the prime brokers have adjusted their margin requirements. And two, I believe they already adjusted the limit up and limit down.
Did they?
They did, right?
More than 5%?
It's whatever.
Yeah.
I think
I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, that they adjusted it. So, but I think, again, I don't want to get political.
If Trump wins, you think we limit up or limit down?
If Trump wins, I think we absorb it in a level where we won't limit up or down.
Okay.
If Biden wins, I think we're going to be a little bit more turbulent.
I think you're right. I think so too. I do think a limit up or limit down is coming, and I think a lot of people who got into trading this year are going to panic and make it even worse because there's going to be a lot of freak out.
And you get the argument that, again, without getting political, you get the argument that, well, and what I read theses that say it's true or it's not true, but, the stock market's always done better under a Democratic presidency.
Yeah.
Right. Kids just got nailed in the head by my older son. I can hear you. So,
it's interesting. I don't know if that's true or not either, but it's
I did some research on it, and and people were talking about it on Twitter. I can't find it one way or the other if it's true or not.
Right.
But,
and it's also, that's a tough generalization because when you think about like early 2000s, like, okay, we had 9/11, then 2009, well, Obama, you had the crisis, wars in the 90s. So it's tough. Like there's other things that affect it beyond just Democrat and Republican.
Yeah. And we're at a tipping point where the policies on both sides, the policies are getting a lot more extreme than they have in the past.
Yep. That's a perfect segue because this, here's something I want to ask you guys all. And I'm going to give you some numbers here real quick. McConnell, 78 years old. Pelosi, 80. Biden, 77. Trump, 74. Are we getting to a point where, the younger generation is ready to sort of say, you're too old, get the F out? Like,
get out.
Why? Listen, I don't know about you guys. I have 80-year-olds, upper 70-year-olds in my family. I know 80 and 70-year-olds in my friend's family and my relative, like my cousin's family.
He's about 80.
They are most of them, not all of them, are either totally out of touch with reality or they're in touch with reality, but they don't care. They're like, I don't care about smartphones and what you kids are doing right now. I'm not doing it.
They're so old. Nader shit his pants on stage. I don't know if you guys saw that or not, but he was like crab walking to the side. He had him shit his pants. So yeah, when you're political,
what is going on? Why don't we have anybody that's like
the geriatric association?
We're so old.
Dude, Schumer looks young. He's almost 70, 69.
Pelosi with a mask on today.
Wait, is Nancy actually 80 though?
Nancy is 80. She's 80 years old.
I'll still take her out on a date though, for sure. So we were talking about this in Discord. Random
bubble bag.
Nancy Pelosi, 6 feet tall.
Who?
Is she?
Nancy Pelosi, 6 feet tall. I don't know if that was
no reason for you not to take her out on a date.
I didn't know if my Discord was memeing me just to make me feel bad, or he's actually.
Matt, get us a Google fact, please. Is this true or not? We need to know.
Let's see how tall she is.
Let's see how tall.
I was like, I'd have to put on 4-inch boots to take her out to dinner. I'll still do it, but it's, like if we get the skin deal done.
No, she's 5 inches taller than you. She's 5'5".
Yeah,
She's only
you got
5'5".
played.
Who's telling me it's she's
Look
6
at her.
feet?
She's no way she's 6 foot tall. And
Yeah, she's 5'5". I seen the video of her walking down the hall.
No, after this, I'm going at my Discord for sure. They're all getting banned. They're
You all
all
made me look like shit.
So
They're all
honestly though, guys, age limit. You think there should be one on the high end too? We have 35 for minimum president. What should be the upper range? Just throw a number at me.
probably
65.
Mystery's
65?
age at 65.
65, you can get into office, but you can serve through 65. You can only be elected.
Yeah.
After that, you start losing your
Well, you
shit.
can do 8-year terms, so 65. If my math's right, that's 73. Yeah.
So you can. That's okay.
Yeah, but Joe Biden, how old is Joe Biden? 78?
77. Yep. He looks older than 77. Honestly, he looks worse than Pelosi. Okay, so that said, with the aforementioned 4, starting with Kyle, you have to have a 1-hour conversation and drink beers with one of those 4 people. For clarification purposes, you cannot hit any of them. Who do you do it with? You have
Wait,
beer.
who?
Donald,
Who's the
Pelosi, Trump, or Biden?
Pelosi, Trump, Biden, or who?
Or McConnell.
Oh.
McConnell's out because he's boring.
You can't hit him.
McConnell's
No,
out.
you can't
He
hit
just
him.
seems boring. Joe Biden, I don't know what the topic of discussion might be.
That
So
maybe
No, he wouldn't know either.
I don't
he won't know either. Trump, I would have a tough time. I'm sticking with my girl, Nancy Pelosi.
God.
Now that she's 5'5" now
Maybe you
grab
not having
someone.
a girl is lowering your
What
expectations.
Matt's doing right now. He's over there like, well, Trump doesn't smoke. I know that.
Yeah. Oh, I already got my pick.
Also Nancy, my girl Nancy Pelosi is in one of my tickers right now. So we have that in common. We could talk about that all night. She probably pulled out already, but hey. But yeah, I would say
Matt?
I would say either Nancy or Trump. Nancy, I feel like that meme that she has, like the Good Morning Sunday morning, like where she answers that question, that's just hilarious to me. So I would want one of those moments at our dinner date.
Public service announcement. Kyle is single and he's looking for a girlfriend.
You got to be 80 and look like Nancy Pelosi.
Or you need to know how to trade options or at least understand warrants.
Oh, just wait till my question that I have. Just wait. I love my question.
Matt,
I would.
substitute here with smoke a bowl with.
I would go with Biden just because he would be like your crazy grandpa that tells you the same story 50 fucking times, and you have to like sit there and act like you're interested, like you haven't heard it.
And if you were
like
halfway through, like he was smoking with you.
Yeah, well, like halfway through the story too, he like forgets the story he was telling you, and you have to like remind him because you've heard it 40 times already. You're like, no, this is where. So sort of, that I go with that route.
Yeah, that'd be a pretty like calm night.
Exactly.
Chris, you slugging beers with Trump or?
Tough one. Trump or Biden? Definitely not Pelosi. I don't know.
See, I worry that with Trump, you wouldn't even be able to speak. He'd just be talking over you the whole time.
Yeah, that's my worry.
That could be interesting too. I mean,
Except you'd have
Prez did an interview with him. It wasn't bad. I think I'd go with Biden too. I'd love to hear his war stories, and who knows, Hunter might show up with the party candy.
I just love to see how off track I could get him. I'd go with Biden too. I mean,
yeah. You could probably get so much out of him, like what's coming next. I'd get stock tips out of him, and he just. I'm gonna go with Biden out of pure.
Oh yeah, we're gonna pump $500 billion into solar. Buy all the solar stocks, Chris.
I'm gonna go with Biden.
All right, so free play. Kyle, pick a topic.
I want to talk about. I have 2 topics that I think we can discuss.
You have to pick
one
one.
is
You only get one. You said pick a topic.
one's in a.
You might be able to pick mine. Let's see.
All right, you can pick 2, but you have to give Matt your social security when you get.
Well, I'll give him my maiden name too. I'll give him my debit card, whatever he asks. But,
My maiden name.
I have 2 topics. One's inappropriate, which I don't know if you want to talk about.
That's fine. Fire it at us.
If
That's
your
why I
wife
got
or
no topics. They're all inappropriate.
all right,
I hope
have
they're all
topic.
inappropriate. Why are we here otherwise?
all right. What is one thing that your wife or significant other could tell you in the bedroom that a traitor could say that would either spice up the night or make it dull.
That went.
Don't pull out.
It's gonna keep going.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's mine. That's a huge move.
Huge move. All right, what's your other? Because that was quick enough.
If you were part of a pump and dump play as a CEO, like what would kind of go through your mind, and like what ticker would you kind of like? So for example, like I was looking at Jax and being, or like I was looking at XBot and being like, how crazy would it be to be that guy and go on like Fox News, go on Fox Business, have your ticker run on just rumors about rumors, and just you sitting back and like selling your stock and just having a good old time with Fox Business and stuff.
It's interesting, isn't it? It is interesting, and that's a great question. I don't necessarily know the answer because I can't really think of, but I will tell you this. I'll share a little insight. One of my jobs before this was booking corporate outings for a lot of different biotechs here in Massachusetts. A lot of them, initially you get the inquiry and you start working with them. You have no idea they're publicly traded, and then you look and you're like, Jesus, this company's publicly traded. They come in with like 26 employees. I mean, they're spending like maybe $10,000. They're all going to come have a lobster bake, and you know they're not spending a ton of money. But then it hits you like, this is a biotech. Like they don't have any profit. This is shareholder money. Like they're spending shareholder money on this stuff. It's crazy. So it's a wild world we're in. I mean, especially in that biotech industry and all the little junky penny stocks. So like people have no idea what this money's going towards, and they should be better informed on it.
Well, here's just a random thought too, that I've been outspoken about on Twitter, and I've gotten a lot of like hate for it. I don't mind it because everybody has their different opinions. But one thing that I hate is when a CEO, especially of a penny stock or any CEO that doesn't have the credibility, right? That doesn't have like the Elon Musk type credibility, that's on Twitter, like messaging like their replies about their stock ticker. Like we've seen this from
Garbage.
SPAC.
Stay away from it.
I honestly hate it. Like that is my, like I will literally jump out of your company the minute I see that, because to me, like if you're only worried about your like ticker price, then I don't want to be part. Like let your products speak for itself.
Well, as the CEO, that's all they should be worried about.
Yeah,
right? It's
exactly.
the shareholders own the company. Now, I agree. If they're on Twitter 90% of the day tweeting out, then you got something to worry about. But, you know, like Mad Money, I don't watch it, but he's got CEOs of credible companies on there all the time. So I got a little bit of a different view on that. I'm okay.
Yeah, what's your, because aren't you in SPAC right now? I mean, I'm still in SPAC just because the floor is literally like nothing right now.
I'm in SPAC. Great. I wrote covered calls at $5, so my average is $7. There's no way for me to lose. I could do redemption at $10.50, which I might end up doing if it keeps dropping. Yeah, SPAC. A lot of people
but like, no, like what's your opinion then about like the CEO coming on Twitter and saying all this stuff like we're getting attacked by shorts, which the short interest is huge. Like the short interest is pretty big on SPAC right now, and yeah, it could be.
You know, Kyle, it's a great question because we see Elon do it, but Elon's like he's a celebrity.
He's a nut. He says my stock price is too high.
He comes on and says the price is too high, you know?
He's
in 5 years
one of those genius nuts. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's a genius, and he's excellent with press control. I mean, he has absolutely pounded Tesla Qers into the ground for 5 years now.
Real quick, since we brought up SPAC, and probably a lot of people that watch this are in SPAC, and I've gotten, I think you guys said it. You've got numerous DMs about it. Here's my tinfoil theory on SPAC. I think whether it's Elon or somebody else in the industry is working against SPAC because they want to stop them before they even get out of the gate. I mean, it's common sense. They pretty much have a monopoly on the electric car business. I know, Hummer coming out when eventually, I know they said by 2035, California was going to mandate all cars electric. They asked a lot of CEOs how that's going to affect them. They said it doesn't, because we're all going to be electric by then anyway. But 2 years from now, which Fisker is saying, I think there's deep pockets putting manipulation on SPAC in my opinion.
I think you're right, and you know what? As much as people want Fisker to be like Elon, he's not. He's not
well,
Elon. And so he doesn't have the cult following. He doesn't have people that believe in him, and he's trying to sort of behave like Elon, and it's not working. Right?
But at the same time, Elon also had a lot of people against him before he got to. I mean, now he's famous. I mean, he's but now he's the king of electric cars. But there was more people betting against Elon than for him before he. There still is a whole Tesla Q community.
Yeah, they still exist, and
I mean, look where he is now. I wasn't a believer of Elon. I'll be honest with you guys.
No, I mean, I'm not in Tesla or anything, but I mean, there's a level of admiration for the guy. I mean, he handles everything well. He doesn't sit there and pump his stock when it's up too high. He says it's up a little too high, and he smirks.
Matt's because he smokes.
People trust him and believe him, and hey, I mean, shoot, they are killing it, whether their market cap is severely inflated or not.
Well, the thing with these CEOs is they, especially SPAC, it's his job to pump the product, pump the ticker. I mean, so he's got to do that. Social media is a great way for him to do it for free.
Right, you're right.
The thing that concerns me with the CEOs is when they start talking about the actual trading of the ticker.
Yeah.
Like short interest. I mean.
Stuff
like that. I mean, we see it in the OTC. I mean, there's a level of the company communicating, and then I'm sure that Chris remembers this. There's a fucking CEO. I can't remember the ticker. The motherfucker went out behind the fucking place with a barrel and started burning fucking certs. Saying that he was we retired these shares, so I'm going to burn all these certs back here. And I was what the fuck is going? And as soon as that shit happened, that thing it got one pop after that.
Or something like that.
Yeah, everybody got super excited because he burned all these certs. It popped for a day, and then I'm pretty sure all those certs were just getting burnt because they'd been converted.
They were photocopies.
And it was the next day. I mean, it's a triple-O stock now.
People just assume that if it's publicly traded, it's this real company. How many companies have you worked for, had friends work for, or whatever? People in charge are not always smart, and people who own things are not always smart. We have a lot of morons running companies.
Oh, yeah.
We have companies that make $10 million, and yet somehow they lose $5 million. How are you figure out how to be profitable? I mean, so same thing in the market, right? We just don't know what's coming, and so it's a great topic, and the Elon topic is super fun to go on, and we could talk about them all day.
The guy wants to mine gold in
outer space.
Yeah,
on Pluto.
I would not protect that man.
Yeah, I can't figure out third grade math anymore the way they teach it. Never mind.
I'll go. Can I bring my dog? Come on, let's go.
But you know what? I'm not betting against him. He probably ends up to figure out how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
He probably will. I mean, I still want to hear more about the underground warp tunnels like Mario.
Yeah, those are pretty cool too.
Yeah,
what will ever happen, who knows? But
so
the
this
boring
is a
company?
quick one. I don't want an elaborate story. I just want to know, in a couple of words. All right, we'll start with Chris. You have a terrible day in the market. What's your go-to move after the market closes?
Fry.
Shock could probably answer this. What's my go-to move?
I can answer it. Oh, because I'm your nephew. Oh, okay. So you'll make some Toll House cookies with the ant.
The Toll House cookies.
And
Toll House cookies all day.
Yeah, my kids love baking them. So without getting too corny. Yeah, especially my daughter, she helps me out. You know what?
Anytime
you do the same thing when you have an awesome day in the market? Is it the same move?
Yeah, same thing.
Toll House cookies either way. I love it.
You know what it is I've been doing it so long that I've come to accept red days are just part of, you see these guys on Twitter, 40 days straight green, blah, blah. First of all, I don't see the point of it unless you're trying to corral sheep.
Yep.
There's losing is part of it. You want to limit your exposure and protect your capital. I agree. I'm a little bit more on the aggressive side, so I have some more red days than somebody who's maybe a little bit more conservative. Like Shock's always in cash, 363 days out of the year.
No, I've been cash for 2 months now. Actually, the minute I chose to be aggressive, I had one of the worst days ever in the market. I told everybody I had one of the worst days in the market. I overextended myself and I got spanked because of it.
Before you got out, I was talking to Pete about the options that I was in, and I doubled and tripled down on them. Luckily, it was Disney, Apple, and Wynn. Wynn, Las Vegas reported it got me out. Diz just happened to run for some random reason. I got out yesterday, and
Disney inexplicably still near all-time highs.
Yeah,
Everything's
yeah. I was
No
so
money.
It's about the
over-leveraged.
streaming platform.
I was gonna say Yoda, Baby Yoda, and
Yeah.
fucking
They got
Mandalorian.
Mela, whatever they're
No, I mean, long
This-
story short, I just come to accept them. It's part of trading.
No,
There's-
that's Chris.
There's
That's the
nothing
best
you can do
answer.
when the bell closes. If you lost money, you lost money. I'm not going to sit in after hours and try to scope something out to try to even lose, especially after hours trading. If you're new,
Nope.
stay away from it.
Yep.
You will lose more money in after and pre-market
Oh
trading.
yeah.
Unless you're already holding the stock, you will lose more. Trust me on that.
Yeah, after hours and pre-market is for selling things that are inflated.
Don't fall for the pumpers telling you, oh, after hours runner, and buy right at close, unless you plan on holding it into tomorrow or there's relative strength. But most of the time, you're going to get burned.
Yeah, selling on the after hours pop. Almost
Especially pre-market. I lose more money in pre-market than on any.
never. Yeah, the gap.
I keep
fills-
telling myself, don't trade pre-market, and what I do every pre-market, I'm like, well, trade.
I love that. Honestly, Chris, I love that you same for a losing day and a winning day, because that goes hand in hand with what I always say. Like, you make a bunch of money, you lose a bunch of money. Tomorrow it's 0-0 no matter what.
Yeah.
It
Yeah, you got to come back
means
with.
nothing.
Yeah, you can't come back with your head down the next day because
Oh, yeah.
you're gonna have a string of losing days. You got to come back, just like you said, fresh day, brand new, start over. I know it's hard to do at first. Forget
It
what
is.
you lost. It's gone. You're not gonna get it back. The only way you're gonna get it back is by focusing on the new day.
Yeah, because you have a big day, you come into the next day thinking, oh, I got all this free money, you're going to lose it.
Right. That's
You have a bad day, you come into the next day thinking, I got to make that up. You're not going to make it up. You're probably going to lose more. So
100%.
perfect
Yep.
answer. Matt, same
Yeah,
question.
beat that one, Matt.
Yeah.
What's your go-to on a bad day and your go-to on a good day?
Same thing. Smoke a bowl after the market.
There it is. Easy. Kyle?
Was that a rhetorical question for Matt? What does he do?
But yeah, I mean, it's like
What do you do on a good day?
Kyle, do you just start like, do you just like unbox stuff no matter what?
Yeah, so I get fan mail to my PO box, and I just unbox everything. So I'm like, even just a random box that's just like a shoe box, I'll just
Do you
unbox.
like something you already own? Like you hide stuff in your house.
He's like, I know these are
like,
my
a
shoes.
couple months later, you're like, what's in this?
I
Hey,
just
my
wrap
smelling
presents
socks.
and I wrap presents and give them to myself and unwrap them. to YouTube.
And
And
ladies,
going out-
again, he is single. He's looking for a girlfriend.
Yeah,
Somebody to get him presents.
If people
You
like
will buy the presents if you wrap them.
if people like these and want to see more, I'll commit to sending him a box before every one that we do, and we'll start off with an unboxing.
yeah, we'll do
we
unboxing.
all
I
send
remember-
him Christmas
You
presents.
gotta open the box though. And
I'll send a box too.
Much.
I'll send a
Okay.
box too.
I have YouTube coming, boys. Don't worry about that. I got videos. I
All
got
right, here's a quick hitter for you guys. You know, we just asked a pretty serious question, but like, I can only see all of your upper bodies. All right, your wife's in the background. Your daughter's been running around. I'm pretty sure you're both wearing pants, but Kyle, you wearing pants?
Oh yeah, no, I just came from work. Of course, I'm wearing pants.
All right, fair enough.
Okay.
Who was that dude who was like jerking off in the Zoom video that got
Is my
fired?
ass fat?
Well, who was it?
Um,
The court guy. He recently got fired.
that's
He was
bad.
like,
That's so
and
bad.
then like when they asked him about it, he was like, "I thought my mic was on mute." It's dude, you're still on video.
There's been a lot of that. People walking into their kids' rooms with the homeschool.
Oh yeah, I saw
braless, and their boobs are down to their knees. And
yeah, that one kid. It was so funny because you could tell he was like telling her like, "Get the fuck out!
yeah,
of here.
yeah,
Get the fuck out of here!"
yeah,
And then she like walks right in, and like the teacher's like, "Shit!"
That's not
Like,
happening.
yeah. First of all, if I was young and my mom walked in butt naked, I'd be like, "What the fuck are you doing?"
that's what I told my wife. I was like, "What the fuck is that lady doing walking around her kid's room?"
I
No,
don't
no,
know.
my favorite is the video. Have you seen these videos? There's like a whole collection of them because everybody's working on Zoom now. There's like the video of the wife's in the background and she thinks she's crawling under the camera view while the husband's on a work meeting, but like she's just like army crawling across the floor in the background, and all the coworkers are just laughing. She thinks she's sneaking by, like it's so ridiculous.
I gotta see.
That's
it.
why I had to check my background. I keep checking. I don't shit up.
My brother works for a Fortune 500 company, right? So I mean, they're all pretty
Are you about to show us something?
This guy showed up. He showed up for a meeting like this.
You didn't know he was on video, right?
My brother's no, he did. My brother's the CFO of a Fortune 500 company, and that's how one of his employees shows up for.
Can we see him again? He looked like Milton from Office Space.
Yeah, he goes, Chris, it's unbelievable what these people like do at home. It's just like people don't care, or I don't know. It's just amazing.
Oh man, Chris. Well, while we're on you, free play. Pick a topic.
One that won't get me in trouble.
It's like, is my wife and my kid gone?
Yeah, right.
You want us to come back to you?
No, I got an easy one. Since we're all guys here, and Shock's gonna be single for the next 30 years.
Probably, dude.
What's
And Nancy Pelosi, hit me up.
yeah, well that's blonde or brunette?
Ooh.
What'd you say?
Blonde or brunette?
Oh, brunette for me.
Blonde.
Brunette for sure.
Pelosi.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Short hair, brunette, 80. Woo, wrinkles.
Let the
Woo.
Pelosi memes begin.
Oh my gosh, Pelosi is gonna be. You should
People
just.
are gonna be.
You should
People
keep
are gonna be.
Pelosi dynasty from now.
People are gonna be hitting me up on Twitter probably when this goes live, and just sending me Pelosi
Pelosi's
like.
gonna DM you.
No,
Yo,
but
if it catches on, will you
you're gonna get
change your
death
name
threats.
to Shock
You're gonna be like, this guy
Box?
likes Nancy Pelosi. Fucking,
For
we're
a
gonna
little
come
bit.
fucking find you, Kyle.
Bring Nancy Pelosi with. That's fine. I mean, I'm gonna unbox Nancy Pelosi. How about that one?
All
So
6
quick,
foot of her.
can't be anybody on this call. Favorite Twitter trader?
Oh,
Not myself.
You can name yourself, but you're on this call.
can I name my other like my scam account, Shock Dynasty with a 0,
My burner account.
who talks about BTC all the time and DM me or DMs my followers about BTC, and all of a sudden it rips. So he's a better trader than I am. I'll tell you that.
I mean, I got a lot, but one that and I'm just gonna say the one that hits me first.
Yeah,
is,
that's way good.
Craig, Eye of the Storms.
Yeah, he's unbelievable.
He's unbelievable what he does. Not
Recently,
only
he pinned what? Snap?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He
From like
I
18
yeah. I mean, he's incredible with his calls. He's very transparent. Obviously, he does well through his transparency. You can see, and not only with stock trading, just in general. I mean, I think he's very unbiased when it comes to politics. Whether I agree with him or not, doesn't matter. He's just an unbiased individual, and he does a lot of good things outside of stocks. You know, with the giveaways and a lot of the Steeler stuff that he does. So
Yeah. Hey, did his account get briefly deactivated the other day?
The reason my account goes to, I have 116 followers. I got like something in my head that I have to have an even amount of followers. And every time he deactivates, he fucks me up. He puts me at 115 or 113. I got to talk to him about that because he always deactivates.
Yeah, he just does that randomly.
Yeah, I think he just gets enough and then comes back, comes back. But when he's around, you know, even doing this as long as I do, I still soak up a lot of knowledge from him. He drops a lot of knowledge. So if you're not following Craig, I would strongly suggest it.
Oh yeah, Eye of the Storm is unbelievable.
Yeah,
I don't remember when, but I think he alerted, like most recently, massive trade for him. He picked up a ridiculous amount of snap contracts.
Snap,
He picked up like 23s, like November 23s at when it was like $19. I mean, who knows how much money he made on that, but it was just unbelievable call. Matt, you?
Shit, that's a hard one.
Yeah, it is a tough one. There's a lot of good people out there.
Are you gonna stick with OTC land?
Judy,
I was gonna say Matt knows from the Flex guys.
yeah, I was actually
He's a solid trader all around, pretty much across a lot of the markets. So I would recommend him so that if anybody's following this, they're not like getting sucked into an OTC hellhole.
Yeah, he tweets a lot less now, and that kind of just goes hand in hand with, you know, how good that guy is. He does not need he knows what's going to move. He's an unbelievable trader. And I don't know, he's probably 27. He's young, but it's unbelievable. That guy is it's his market. We're all just playing in it, in my opinion. You know, he's a very talented fellow, and a very nice guy too. So that's Flex Trades. I was going to go with him as well. Craig's unbelievable. I had the Storm. Shock Dynasty's doppelganger, mind-boggling. Though.
Well, I have a serious one.
Hey, if you don't say Bish, he's gonna start blowing your DMs.
I know, he's got a girl.
He's already asking Pelosi out right now, just to.
He's got a girlfriend anyway right now.
Like
I don't. Bish has a girlfriend right now. Is not even looking into the markets anymore. So he sucks. Just kidding. Love you, Bish. But I think right now a follower that has to be followed if he allows you. Hint, hint. Is Saint Kin.
Yeah.
Saint Kin is phenomenal in the biotechs. This man, like, not only like have you guys done a lot for me, like that man has literally DM'd me and has been like, yo, check FBio, like check FBio. Here's everything that you need to know about it. Do your own DD, obviously, but like here's everything that kind of caught my eye. And we were sitting there below threes. Like he sought me out. Any questions that I have in the biotech, whether it's an 8K that I can't really read or understand, a 10K that I really don't get, debt kind of stuff, reverse splits, because there's some things in the bio, like especially if it's under $1, you can kind of tell if a reverse split's happening based on price action. So I've gone to him with a lot of questions, and that man has helped me out a lot. So St. Kin, I know you're going to be very frustrated with me if people start following you. But that dude's a great trader. He's a great mentor for me. So
real. I like him because
he does.
I like
and you know what? He alerts stuff before it's moving, and it goes down. He's adding more. He's not like, hey, this thing's up 20%. Why don't you buy it now? Which is like the most annoying move on Twitter.
Yeah.
I
mean,
there's not many people that do that.
Yeah.
One of the things I kind of want to just to end on, because especially for my followers in our Discord, you guys are all in my Discord now, the Dynasty. It's growing well and stuff. We have a lot of new traders, a lot of traders that just started. So like, what's one piece of advice that you would give a new trader that is trading in this market right now?
Don't trade right now. Just watch. I know that's impossible, but really, I mean, don't trade. Just watch right now. This is difficult for people who've been trading for 10 years, and it's just like, just learn. Like, if you can learn from this, and even if you can trade on like paper trade, whether that's write it down, whether that's use a simulator, just do that. Because odds are, I know it's more fun to play with money. Odds are, if you're a new trader right now, you're going to lose money. So just, why don't you simulate it, and then kick me in the nuts when you see me if you would have made 10K if you used your real money, you know, like, but chances are you're going to lose half your money in this market.
I got a little bit of a different approach. The only reason I don't like simulation, because it takes out 80% of trading, which is emotions.
True.
Yeah.
Because you're trading with paper money. Who the fuck cares if you lose paper money?
That's true.
I remember I opened up a simulation account. I was like 80 grand and on like one option. I was like, what the fuck? So I think it's serious, but you know, I guess I would say find a mentor, somebody who's willing to take the time, the effort.
That's a good point too.
Be truthful. Definitely start small. I agree with you, Pete. Either use paper trading or start extremely small. Focus on percent gains, not dollars. But I would definitely say find a mentor. Find somebody that's going to hook you up. Spend the time. There are people out there that will.
Yeah.
There's not a lot, but there are people that will. And the people that won't,
Yeah, you don't need them.
It's probably for a reason.
Yeah, it's probably for a reason. Anybody that's reached out to me for like, now's a bad time to say because I haven't answered my DMs.
Hey, you haven't responded to my DM.
He doesn't answer anybody.
You haven't responded to my DM 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, Bish actually DM'd me. How you doing? I didn't even answer him yet. So
tack on use stops in this market too right now.
Yeah. You can find out right away who the people are that are willing to help and are.
That's the other thing I'd add on to what Chris said. If you are going to trade with real money right now, like if you're not using stops, you're just out of your mind. I mean, you have to right now. You just have to, because like if you can't look at the computer all day and you're not using stops, like who knows, like when the market's just going to abruptly drop 1,000 points for no reason, like because Zero Hedge tweeted some news story of Pelosi thinks deal is not imminent. Like, you know, I mean, literally everything is moving this market. So if you're going to play with real money, stay small, like Chris said, use stops, because, and I'm strictly speaking to, you said new traders like right now. Just think this is a terrible market to learn in.
Oh yeah. I was saying it right up until August. Everybody was in the trader. There was euphoria. I was saying this was the best swing market that I've been in over a decade. Probably the early 2000s. I was like, enjoy it now, because this is not the norm. If people search my profile, I must have said it like 15 times, including myself. It was a phenomenal year because of it. You could throw shit at the wall and pretty much anything would stick.
Yep.
You know, batting almost 100% every month. It was just insane. It had to come to an end. So now it is a more difficult market, but we're also starting to normalize in the market.
Yeah. Normal's fine too. You can make money in normal. You know what's funny? I remember, like in August, I was getting these DMs from people, and it was all the same story.
Yeah.
I started trading in March. I made like 100%. I started with 10 grand, and I made like 10 grand. And now I'm down to $4,000. I'm like, so you went from 10 to 20 and then you lost 16? They're like, yeah, in like 2 weeks.
All you had to do is buy and hold. Eventually you'd get news and it'd go up. It was that simple. I mean, you can buy the crappiest company out there and within a week it would pop. It was an unbelievable market. And I think people thought that was the reality of the market. And now people are down. I get the same DMs. People are down big. There's bag holding. What should I do? It's just, again, I think it's partly the market normalizing and definitely the elections. Do I think it's going to go back like that after the elections? Absolutely not.
No.
I think it'll get better.
Drop, there will be another opportunity for something like that. But if we stay even relatively high to where we are, like people are too uncertain with what's going on. So
we were hitting all-time highs in the middle of a pandemic that most of the people haven't lived it. Like people don't fathom that. Like all these companies, how are they at all-time highs when we're in the middle of a pandemic with nobody working, unemployment numbers, our GDP? I mean, just like
nobody knows if they'll have a job next week.
Yeah, that's why I always used to post in the Fed I trust, because they're just pumping so much money, and but you know, that's got to eventually come to an end.
Well, that's where it gets scary with the non-stimulus too, because there's companies out there, they're waiting for stimulus so that they can continue to pay people. You don't get that stimulus, unemployment increases. Unemployment increases, then we have to figure out how to pay unemployment. No stimulus, we can't do that either. It's like, it's a really, really long, drawn out bad scenario until we get to the other side of COVID. Essentially, they have to keep injecting money into the market. So people can say all they want about the Fed pumping money in and the Fed pumping money in. It's not just the market. And you know what? Oh, okay, they bailed out some companies they shouldn't have. You have to also realize that they're bailing out companies that are paying your cousin a salary and your uncle a salary and your friends' salaries, and your friends and uncles and cousins might not have jobs if it weren't for it. I mean, things can get really, really bad if they don't continue to bail us out. So we'll see. Everything's up in the air at the moment. We're in unknown territory, and you know, we just all hope this crap is over by next year this time. Let's try to be cautiously optimistic. I mean, I'd really love to see it be dwindling down by summer, but this is I hate to use the word because everyone uses it, but it's just, it's uncharted territory is what it is. Nobody has any freaking clue.
Yep.
So good luck to us all.
I think a lot of that money that we saw come in the summer too was because of COVID and stimulus. So many people being stuck at home, laid off, still getting unemployment at that point. Some people making more money on unemployment than they were. So now they have like extra money and they're like, what am I going to do? I'm stuck at home all day. And you could literally almost watch the market, I don't want to say like suck the money away, but like the higher it got and then like it got choppy at the top, you could literally see like the stimulus money like being sucked away from new traders.
I mean, that's what the market is, a transfer of wealth.
It was like donation period finally ran out and they ran out of money to donate to the market. And
like crack, again, like crack. Yeah. They suck you in.
It's gone. It's all gone. All that money. It's, you know, that's a great way of putting it. And to that token, what we have going on right now is we're running out of money. People are running out of money. So, yeah, what happens when all these funds drain up? Well, listen, like one of the things that I actually heard, I think it was Kevin O'Leary who said it, Mr. Wonderful, made the suggestion, or maybe it was Mark Cuban. They made the suggestion of, you know, if you want the economy to remain hot, give everybody like a $400 a week card that they have to use or lose. It's like just put it back in it. Like, you got to go use this, you know, like, or you get $800 a month that has to be spent on this card. If you don't use it next month, it just gets reset to $800. If you use 400 of it, and I know that people could scam that and whatnot and find ways around it.
Can I buy weed with it?
Yeah, you probably could if it was legal. I mean, end of the day, though, like the whole purpose of that money was to have people reinvest. Now, a lot of people were saying, oh, well, people are getting the extra money and they're putting in their savings. Well, I didn't see that. If that's the case, tell me why Home Depot and Lowe's had record historical sales, because everyone was like, I'm going to renovate my basement with this money. Like, you know, people were putting it back into the economy. Now they're not. Now they're like, holy crap, there's no money. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. I agree with everything that everybody has said on this topic at this point, and I just think that it is definitely a very scary situation until we know COVID's gone. Whether you think COVID's real or fake, it doesn't matter. There's enough people who are not going to operate normally until they feel safe. And so until people feel safe, we are in a pickle. Guys, this was awesome. Tomorrow's Friday. After the week that we've had in the market, I have no idea what to expect. I don't know if it's going to be a slow chop fest or if it's going to be a volatile, crazy day. I could see either happening. I could also see myself trading till like 10 a.m. and then just calling it a day and walking away.
Probably what I'll do.
But I had a blast chatting with you guys. I hope you enjoyed too. And this was awesome.